What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about well today, MoonWell. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's the 8th of May. Here we are at about 3.16 cents now. 7 hours, 37 minutes left in the day. Up about 12%, 12.6% on the day. Finding resistance where you found resistance before. I don't think it's going to be long-lived, right? I certainly do believe that what you've done here is you've moved up, you've consolidated, you're ready to move up. You're at the very beginning steps of this next phase up, right? This next phase higher. Could you find turbulence here? Come down, find a higher low? Sure. I'm not saying it has to go up right now, but I'm also not saying you have to reject here. I'm just saying if you were to find resistance here, you did it before, you kind of found support in this area before, I mean, it wouldn't be too crazy. Don't get your feelings hurt if you come down a little bit. Looking at the daily RSI, though, I definitely mean it when I say I think you have higher aspirations in mind, right? A nice kind of curved higher low structure here, bouncing off the 50 after getting overbought, looking to pierce the veil of the overbought zone itself right here. And I think you're going to. I really do think you're going to. If we're looking at this, you've got a very beautiful double bottom right here. That's like an atom and atom pattern. I don't even know, man. It's a very bullish double bottom at the very least. If we're looking at this from a high to a low, all double bottoms are bullish, yes, but this one seems a bit ferocious, let's just say, robust. I don't know. From a high to a low, consolidating between the 1272 and the 886, very bullish posturing. Absolutely, I think that your next target, minimum target, would be the golden ratio at 4 cents. So you're at 3.16 cents right now. 4 cents would be the minimum target, and once you break above there, 4.7 cents becomes the minimum target to potentially as high as 7.2 cents, right? The primary target zone is the 1618 to the 1272. Once you break above the 1618, you gain access to the secondary target zone, which is the 1886 to the 2618. It's very possible, in my opinion, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, that you don't stop at the top end of the primary zone, but you do get into the secondary target zone here. So I'm thinking 4.7 cents, 7.2 cents, somewhere in that area. Let's see if we can run with that. Let's see if that makes any sense. Hold on. I'm just going to do this, actually. Hold on. Put these here. We'll go from this zone to this zone. That's my given expectation at the moment. Doesn't mean that it has to happen. No, we could go beyond that. We could go below that. You know, you never know what's going to happen, but let's just see here. Okay, so that's the target zone, and that we got that based off of this. Why did I do that twice? Off of this high to low here, off the double bottom. That's right. Okay, cool. If we're looking at the overall high to low now, from the move that we had in November, December time, right? High here back on, actually, I guess that was October for you. MoonWell moved up a little bit ahead of everything. October to the low in March there, high to low. Wow, so it topped off before and it bottomed out before. That's kind of interesting going forward. Right here, this zone that we identified with our double bottom Fibonacci extensions, this zone here lines up precisely with the golden ratio, right? The golden ratio of this overall high to low endeavor, the retracement of that, the golden zone right there is like right smack dab in the middle of this zone. So that, in my opinion, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, in my opinion, that really confirms my bias that we will see something between 4.7 to 7.2 cents. I want to take it a step further and refine that a little bit and say we're going to go somewhere between about 6 cents to 5.222 cents, right? Somewhere in there. Could you go higher? Sure. You could go all the way up to the 786. That wouldn't be crazy at all. A lot of cryptos this cycle have bypassed their golden ratio just to hit the 786. And not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Whenever you reach for your 382 like this, and you don't interact with your 236, generally speaking, you go 382, 236, and then up. The fact that you've consolidated like this without touching the 236 does up the chances that you could break through the golden ratio on the first attempt, which isn't likely to happen, but in circumstances like this, it becomes more likely, and maybe you do stop at the 786. So specifically, I'd like to refine our range from 4.7 to 7.2. I'd like to refine it to 5.222 to 6.03 cents, somewhere in that zone. That's what I'd like to refine it to, with the exception still that we could go all the way up to 7.27 cents, but I don't think we stop below 5.222 cents. Okay, that's at a minimum where I think we're going now. Okay. Very bullish consolidation here. You look at the weekly RSI, you can see that we've got a lot of room to grow. Okay, we've bounced off this area a few times already, right? Since 2023, this area was the low, this area was the low, and just recently this was the low. This time here, we did not get into the overbought zone, though. At the end of the day, we did inevitably get there. This time we made a straight run for it. I'm assuming we're going to do exactly what we did last time. We're just going to make a straight run for the overbought zone. And it's fun, it's nice, it's exciting when you find your low and you start building, but the real exciting stuff happens when you're in the overbought zone. Notice this, right? So you found your low here, but once you got overbought, it was here. Found your low here, but once you got overbought, it was here. What did you start doing, right? Your low was here, but you got overbought here. Most of your move happened after the overbought zone, or certainly at least the largest parts of your move happened. You can see here is whenever you got overbought on the weekly basis, and then you ripped phenomenally. You came back down to these prices nonetheless, but if you sold on the first instance of getting overbought, you missed most of that move. Absolutely you did. Here, when you got overbought, it was on this week, you missed about half the move, or at least a third of the move, if you sold as soon as we got overbought, right? This was the beginning of it. We saw a lot of the move happen beforehand, right? And I'm gonna delete this right now because there's just so much stuff on there. We saw most of this move before we got into the overbought zone, right? But the best part, the fastest part, the largest candles were when we were in the overbought zone. This 6 weeks provided more growth, but that 3 weeks was a lot more exciting. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm getting at is that exact phrase right there, is that the most exciting part of this move is not now. It's not even when we get to 5.2 to 6 cents. It's when we get overbought on the weekly RSI. It's when we're seeing new all-time or new relative highs here. Maybe not new all-time highs. I would count that as new all-time highs. Treat this, when you get above like 11.3 cents, treat that like new all-time highs, because it essentially is. This is fake price action, right? We shouldn't worry about that too much. I think inevitably for MoonWell here, I think we are on a path that's going to take you at least to about 20 cents. That's about a 6x from here. What do I mean by a path? I mean, I think that between now and the end of June, if not early July, MoonWell will be at a 528% price level higher, 528% higher of a price level than it is now, which would equate to a 6.3x essentially between now and the end of June or very early July. If we don't stop there, and that's the minimum target, right? I didn't finish. That's the minimum expectation, right? We talked about what's coming up over the coming days, over the coming week. Sure, that's nice. But by the end of June, this is your minimum expectation. The maximum expectation, I think, could be something around 39 cents, around 40 cents. That's about a 12.5x from here. And I very much do believe that whether it's 20 cents or about 100% higher than that, 40 cents, somewhere in this zone, just below 40, just below 20 cents, that's where I think you're going to go. I very much do believe that you're going to break above 20 cents. And my thought behind that, at least, is that you've been consolidating here in this area. This is just one large grandiose consolidation phase, right? You consolidated here, broke out, and now you're consolidating again in a very large fashion. March 2024, you've been consolidating for over a year. Have you been consolidating over a year to finally break out while crypto's at the most bullish that it's ever been to stop at your minimum target? I doubt it, right? 20 cents minimum target, but I doubt it. Likely you do go above 26 cents, if not as high as like 40 cents, somewhere around there. But that's all I got for you guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Again, keep in mind the goal right now, or the target area over the coming week or two, would be week or two would be 5.2 to 6 cents. We're at 3.1 cents now. So have fun. Hit the like button, subscribe. And I mean, absolutely, you could go higher. You could go to 7.2 cents. But MoonWell is going to moon very well. We're going to be at the moon here very, very soon. And I think it's clear as day that this thing is on a path much higher. All right, take it easy. Bye-bye. See you on the next.